Imagine being able to find bridge deals on any topic in just 2 minutes. Imagine being able to instantly share them with your students, who can play them for free against 3 artificial intelligences with a single click, no registration required, on their computer, tablet, or phone. Imagine being able to have them play between sessions so that they don't just play 2 but 10 deals per week. Because after all, bridge is a game. It's much more fun and effective, especially with young people, having them play bridge rather than just read about it. That's exactly what bridge training allows you to do. In this video, I will introduce you to the platform, which is free, and show you how it can save you a tremendous amount of time preparing your lessons while also getting your students to play more. Come on, follow me. When you arrive on bridge training, you land directly on your dashboard. The first part of the screen is dedicated to your course calendar. Here, you'll find all the sessions you'll be leading in the coming days, presented in a weekly agenda format. At a glance, you can see your schedule and know exactly which classes are coming up for you this week. Just below, you'll find the detailed list of all these sessions. For each one, bridge training shows you its preparation status. You can immediately see how many deals are already linked to the session and whether the class is ready to be used with your students. The goal is simple: to allow you to know in just a few seconds if everything is ready for the coming week or if you still have a few classes to finalize before meeting your students. Let's now start by exploring the teaching area. The idea is simple. You manage your students individually, then group them according to your teaching organization. Bridge training then takes care of making it easier to prepare and share your content with each of these groups. The Students page allows you, if you wish, to manage your list of students. For each of them, and after obtaining their consent, you can simply record their information: their last name, first name, email address, and phone number. This information will allow you to share your sessions, deals, and teaching materials by email or WhatsApp after class, all in just a few clicks. Of course, this list is personal. Here is the Groups page. Groups allow you to organize your teaching activities. You can create up to 20 different groups, corresponding, for example, to your weekly classes, workshops, school programs, or any other educational activity. When creating a group, you just need to give it a name, such as Monday Beginners or Thursday Advanced. You can then choose whether this group is for a one-time activity or a weekly class. This way, you no longer need to manually recreate each class, week after week. The platform anticipates your schedule and helps you prepare your sessions in advance. By opening a group, you can see all the sessions associated with it, whether they are in the past or coming up soon. Each session corresponds to a class that you will lead or have already led with your students. By opening a session, you gain access to all the data associated with it. In the center of the page, you will find the deal collections associated with this session and the individual deals you have selected for your students. We will come back to the concept of deal collections a little later. On the left, you will find the link to a public page that you can share with your students in just a few clicks, for example, after the session has taken place. This page contains a personalized introduction message, one-click links to play, course deals, and the educational comments associated with each of them. You can also choose to limit access to this page to a specific period. From this same page, you can add or remove deals or entire collections at any time and change their order. Now let's move on to the section dedicated to the deals. This is probably the most useful part of the entire platform for a teacher. It is based on two complementary ideas. The first is a global platform for educational deals. It allows each teacher to share their creations and benefit from those offered by other authors. This way, you can find exercises in just a few seconds that match exactly the topic you want to work on with your students. The second is based on collections of deals. A collection is a set of deals that you have grouped together and that you can reuse as much as you like to create your sessions. We will now explore these two areas in more detail. Here is the Global Library of Educational Deals. It brings together the deals created by the community of teachers who use the platform. In the dedicated tabs under Your Deals, you will find the deals you can access through a sharing group, public deals, the deals you have marked as favorites, and those you have placed in the trash. The display is fully customizable. You can conveniently rearrange and organize the columns, Carefully select exactly which information to display or temporarily hide, and seamlessly adapt the interface to your specific professional workflow and daily habits. By clicking on a deal, you will find a wealth of educational information. If you are interested in this deal, you can add it to a session, add it to a collection of deals, or to your favorites. You can also clone it to freely modify and adapt it to your educational objectives, your bidding system, or your audience. Finally, you can modify the deal at any time if you are its author. You'll find these features at the end of each row. The most significant strength of this global library actually resides within its advanced filtering system. It is this system that will allow you to very quickly find the most relevant deals to build your lessons. A wide range of criteria are available: language, level of difficulty, author, bidding themes, card play themes, personal themes, sources of inspiration, contract, type of trump, player position, vulnerability, or even the score. Naturally, you can combine several filters to obtain extremely precise results. A particularly useful feature is searching by bidding sequence. You can filter a complete or partial sequence on the platform. To go even further, the generic symbol allows you to replace any bid. In practice, this completely changes the way you prepare a lesson. Where you once had to spend a long time going through books, files, or archives, you can now gather a coherent set of deals on one or more very specific topics in just a few moments. Let's now create a new teaching deal. You can start from scratch and build your exercise entirely, or, on the contrary, import an existing deal from a PBN or DUP file. This is especially convenient if you already have a deals library, and that's what we're going to do here, by uploading a PBN file. Note that you can also directly retrieve a deal already present on Bridge Training using its code or address. The first step is to enter the four hands. You can also set the vulnerability and the scoring method if that is useful for your teaching objective. A very useful setting is the play mode. You can ask your students to reproduce a specific bidding sequence, but you can also choose from many teaching variations. For example, it is possible to directly show the sequence to play in mini bridge or even in petit bridge for children. In its 10-card version, you then indicate a bidding sequence to be reproduced, or, when the chosen mode does not include bidding, directly the contract to be played. On Bridge Training, the declarer is always placed in the south position. In the center of the diagram, you can define the position that will be occupied by the student, either in attack or in defense. This is the position for which the deal offers the greatest educational value. If you place the student in north, they will bid from this position, then be switched to south at the start of the card play. You can then specify the start of the card play. You can therefore impose the opening lead, but also any cards necessary to place the student exactly in the situation you want them to work on. This feature notably allows you to control the robot's behavior at the start of the lesson in order to create the most relevant exercises possible. Then, establish the expected objective. As an example for this scenario, let's say a total of 9 tricks. Since the robot always plays optimally, knowing all 4 hands, the platform automatically calculates the par for the deal, meaning the result that will be achieved if everyone plays their best knowing all 4 hands. An indicator immediately alerts you if the chosen objective is not achievable. You can then write the educational comments. A final comment can be displayed at the end of the deal. Furthermore, you can also include specific comments on your bidding, as well as detailed strategic card play commentary for the specifically mandated opening lead. This information will appear at the appropriate time during the exercise. We now come to an essential part, the information that will allow you to easily find this deal in the global library. You can assign it a specific identification number, a title, a unique source of inspiration, bidding themes, complex card play themes, as well as a wide variety of deeply personal themes that you can choose at your own discretion to make it truly your own. 2 pieces of information are mandatory. The first one is the estimated level of the deal. As a guideline, the easy level generally corresponds to a first year of bridge, while the intermediate level is more suited to a second or third year. The second one is the assignment of at least one standard card play theme. This information is essential to allow other teachers, as well as yourself, to quickly find the deal using the search and filtering tools. You can then decide on the privacy settings for your newly made creation. It can be made fully visible and accessible to every single user, shared and distributed among a specifically restricted group of people, or securely maintained within your own personal private space. Since the spirit of the platform is to promote the sharing of educational content, public sharing is of course encouraged. It is also important to remind everyone of the rules that apply to all published content. The data uploaded to the platform is placed under the CC 01.0 license and can be freely reused. The choice between public, shared, or private visibility only determines how the deal appears in the library. It does not change the license attached to the content. Each user commits to respecting copyright and related rights. It is generally possible to reuse the diagram of a deal published in a book or magazine, but it is not permitted to copy or plagiarize a commentary without the author's permission, including if the author is an organization such as a federation. Once all the parameters have been entered, all that's left is to generate the deal. It then appears in your personal library and immediately receives a unique address. Your students can then play it with a single click at this address against 3 artificial intelligences exactly according to the educational parameters you have defined. You can then use it during a class session, add it to a collection, or share it with other teachers around the world. Let's go over the collections of deals. A collection is simply a set of deals grouped around the same theme. It allows you to organize your content, gradually build your own library, and easily find the exercises you use regularly. On this first page, you will find all the collections you have already created. A collection can correspond to a technical theme, a course chapter, a workshop, or any other grouping that makes sense in your teaching. Creating a collection is intentionally very simple. First, you just need to provide a name for your project, then carefully select and add the specific deals of your choice, whether they come from your own personal creations or from the deals library collection. By opening a collection, you will find the complete list of deals it contains. You can change their order to build a coherent educational progression, add new deals, or remove them at any time. On the left, you will find the same sharing features as for course sessions. You can generate a public page, customize the introduction message displayed to students, and if needed, restrict access to a specific period. The main difference is that a collection is not linked to a particular group or session. It serves as a set of reusable resources that you can then integrate into several different courses without having to rebuild everything each time. It is therefore the ideal tool for gradually building your own educational library organized by theme. To finish this presentation, let's explore the user profile accessible at the top right of every screen. This area brings together all the personal settings for your account. In the first tab, you can edit your personal information. Your name, your photo, your language, your country, and your default bidding system type. The second tab is dedicated to your personal themes and sources of inspiration. These personal themes and inspirations freely complement the standard list offered by the platform. The third tab allows you to manage your sharing group. This is a particularly useful feature when several teachers are working together, for example, within the same bridge school. You can create a restricted group of users with whom you can easily share your deals without making them publicly visible. The fourth tab concerns display preferences. In particular, you can choose between light mode and dark mode, set the default display for certain lists, and customize the visible columns in the Deal Explorer. The last tab allows you to customize sharing messages. You can prepare message templates in advance that will be sent by email or WhatsApp when you share a session or a collection with your students. This saves you from having to rewrite the same texts every time and makes communication with your groups easier. That concludes this overview of Bridge training. I hope it has given you some ideas for your own teaching projects. Whether you are a teacher, volunteer, club, or federation leader, the platform can help you get more people playing. Between classes, in an introductory program, at a school, during a recruitment campaign, in a magazine, thanks to a QR code, on a website, in a newsletter, or even in the comments of a video. It can also allow several teachers to pool their content, to build complete educational courses together, and to let an entire community benefit from their work. So, don't hesitate to explore the content already available, to share your own, and to contribute to this global library of educational deals. Thank you for your attention, and see you soon on Bridge Training.